build themselves, to improve themselves. So what we got to do now is just work to mesh the players that we have and try to find a way to get our best 11 players on the field.
You don't have a lot of starters back on your defense, but you got high impact guys. How important is that?
Well, I think that anytime you have guys that can affect the game, it's a good thing. I think we got really good senior leadership in the veteran guys that we have, and I think that anytime you can have your players take ownership in your defense, you have a chance to be better. So we're going to continue to work hard over the next couple of weeks to build a foundation for what we need to do, throughout the whole season.
Losing all those guys plus an NCAA record holder, is it crazy to think that this defense may be as good or better?
Well, I think the focus right now is we just got to find a way to get our best 11 players on the field. We've got to work hard every day to improve ourselves and just work on communication, because communication is the biggest thing. And then we always want to work to play fast, physical, and aggressive. And those are the things that we're going to do the next couple of weeks to try to find a way to get our best 11 guys on the field.
You seem to be pretty solid straight up that middle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that we do have some veteran guys up front that have played some snaps for us. We're obviously going to work to find ways to let them affect the game and kind of lean on them at times too, because there are some good players there. And then we just got to find a way to get our best 11 players along with those guys on the field.
Do you feel like you can do more this year since you're not teaching everybody everything?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, I think that we did pretty substantial stuff last year. I think each year your team is different relative to the personnel you have. I think what you have to do is take the players you have available and just find a way to get your best 11 on the field, because defense is about winning matchups, tackling one-on-one, rushing a passer one-on-one, covering a guy one-on-one. Those are the things that are critical, and we want to put the guys for us that can make plays in position to affect the game. And I think Holloman was a good example of that last year, the way we played him. So we've got some guys that we feel like can impact the game, and we just got to find a way to get those guys on the field all at the same time and work to play as a unit.
What makes Sheldon so effective?
Well, first of all, he's a guy that works extremely hard at his craft. He's an intelligent guy that can improve over the things he did yesterday. He takes a lot of pride in himself and his work, so all the intangibles are there for him. And then you combine that with his explosive power off the ball, his lateral movement, his ability to play with his hands, his acceleration off of blocks. I mean, then you start looking at the measurables he has. You end up with a complete package as a player, and that's when you get guys that end up being the leaders of your team and being productive players for you.
You lost some guys early to the NFL draft. Was he thinking about it, do you think?
Well, I think that what we do with our players is we always go through the process, and I think that it's important that they know where they are, from that standpoint, because that is their career. And from there, each case is different based upon, maybe where they are, where they can go too, because a lot of times you can actually improve your value or your status by staying in school and moving up the ladder, because then you become a senior. So each case is different. Obviously, he went through the proper, channels, but right now he's got a chance to get his degree, graduate, and be a viable part of our team and what we're trying to do. So we're obviously happy he's here.
You obviously had a long relationship with Shaq and Josh. Mm-hmm. What growth have you seen from them now that they've had a year in the program?
I'm really proud of those guys. Number one, academically, they're taking care of themselves, doing a really good job. They're handling themselves as men. They're making the kind of choices you want players to make in your program. So the off the field things and the academic things, been very proud of them and what they've done. And then on the field, as you mature and get older, you can develop yourself. And I think both of those players have worked hard at their craft and the things that they do relative to their skill set to become better players. So we're obviously going to funnel those guys into our 11 players that are on the field and let them contribute to what we're trying to do. So really proud of them, and I think it's a good lesson of how you just keep working with players and making them understand, the choices they make can affect their future, and how can you improve over the things you've done, say yesterday, or maybe the choices you've made over the last couple weeks. And those guys have done a really good job with that.
How does Josh's height and athleticism affect the game?
Well, I think anytime you get guys that are long and have length, it disrupts the play, whether it's a run game and you can create separation with your hands on a blocker, whether it's in the pass game where you can reroute guys and disrupt them from getting down the field, or maybe even covering a guy where because of your length you can get in there and glove the ball or bat the ball out before it gets there. So I think anytime you get guys that have length at their position, it makes it more difficult to attack that position.
Does it help you that you've had experience going against this Auburn offense and those guys have too, kind of get ready for this opener?
Well, I think that, first of all, they're one of the top teams in the country. They're a very talented team. They're well coached. It's really going to get down to, playing blocks up front. It's going to get down to making sure that we leverage the ball and have good force, and that we tackle the runner. And those are all things that are important to be effective against the run. I think the biggest thing there is we've just got to continue to work hard on our technique and work hard on getting our best 11 players on the field to play a team like that, because they are talented and we're going to have to make plays one-on-one.
How much of this advantage was it for Shaq and Josh that they'd already had a year playing in your system?
Yeah, I think that it helped them in the sense they knew the terminology, and I think for that, basically every year we start over again. So really, when they first came in here, it was like starting all over again, learning the system. I think the hardest thing for those two guys was having to sit out last year and not be a part of the team on Saturdays, whereas you're working, Monday through Friday to develop yourself for the game on Saturday, but they weren't a part of that. And I think guys miss that. And what happens is I think it can also humble you in the sense that you kind of appreciate maybe the things you had before that situation came up. And I think it can make you hungry moving forward to, show people what you can do, show people that you can be a productive player in the program, and do the things that make everyone proud. So I think those things are part of maturing, and I think those things are things that those two guys have kind of realized and developed, over the last year.